was kind enough to help me this morning, and I'm genuinely appreciative of her efforts. And I've got some of the oils she's given to me, and I've got my own. And I'm feeling better. And the fact that I can even be here, I think, is a testament to what we're talking about this morning. Dr. Robert Pappas is an expert in chemistry. Now, I don't want to spend a lot of time dwelling on Dr. Pappas, but those of you who were at our conference this last year had an opportunity to meet Dr. Pappas and to hear from him. I get a great joy whenever I have time to spend with Dr. Pappas. Recently, he and I went to, I think we went to Taiwan together. And we've been out on the West Coast together. And I spoke with him recently, and would you like an opportunity where maybe Dr. Pappas and I, in connection one with another, can provide for you some all-day trainings where you can learn about the science and the chemistry of the essential oils and then the science of their application in one mix. So he and I are working on that, and we'll start doing that before long. And perhaps very soon we'll have individuals like Dr. Stoyer and Dr. Winterton and many others represent in a coalition of sorts and sharing some of those same kinds of things, depending on their availability or their willingness. But we're doing many great things this way. Dr. Pappas is a PhD chemist whose entire career for more than 2 decades now has been focused on being an expert with essential oil chemistry. I remember hearing a story one time about Lou Gehrig. Everybody knows who Lou Gehrig is. And Lou Gehrig is a famous baseball player. One day he was warming up with his team, and a true story, a father had brought his young boy there to watch the team work out prior to the game. And Lou Gehrig noticed the young man sitting on the edge of the field and walked over and said hello to him and asked him if he liked baseball. And the young man responded and said, "Yes, I love baseball and I'd love to be a pitcher, but my friends say that I'm not very good. I don't suppose that I am." And Lou Gehrig said, "Well, why don't you come out and pitch a few balls to me?" And so he took him out on the field, and the young man, very excited as you can imagine, threw the best heater he could right down the pipe, and Lou Gehrig swung and missed. And he did that 2 more times, and he struck out Lou Gehrig. And Lou Gehrig walked up to him and shook his hand and said, "The next time somebody says you can't pitch, you tell them Lou Gehrig says differently." Now, what a great confidence builder for that young man. The next time somebody says to you, doTERRA essential oils doesn't have science and doesn't understand the chemistry, you tell them Dr. Robert Pappas says so. He is, without a doubt, one of the world's leading experts in essential oil chemistry, in the analysis of the chemistry of the essential oils. And he has become a partner with us. Now, he's not employed by doTERRA. We use him as an independent resource where we do all of our testing and all of our scientific analysis to understand what the chemistry and science of essential oils is. If you want to understand the continuity of purity and potency of essential oils, then you need to understand the science of essential oils. Now, for doTERRA, that means one thing, and that means that essential oils are chemically correct. And being chemically correct is focused in the volatility of 3 things. Let's go ahead and go back to that, Melissa. Only aromatic compounds. Only aromatic compounds. It doesn't matter that sometimes when we distill essential oils, we have other compounds, for example, frankincense, coming from the resin that we all love so much, only comprises about 3, maybe 4% of the resin itself that we extract from the resin, the essential oils. Only 3 to 4% represents essential oils. That means there's 96% of other compounds. And although they have value, we don't want them in essential oils. Essential oils are only aromatic compounds. And you need to have those if we're talking about essential oils in the context that doTERRA does. We've helped to redefine this. This has been a challenge for us. This is a challenge for us because all other industry standards say differently than this. Say that when we create it synthetically, or that when we standardize it so it smells the same and it has the exact same chemical profile every single time, that's okay. By doTERRA standards, we say it is not. We want the full advantage of how it develops in the plant. Yesterday, Emily gave some reference to that, and she said that chemistry is changing with the environment. That's true. She didn't give you the term. It's called chemical polymorphism. We want that to be intact. Not only is it only aromatic compounds, but they have to be in the right concentration, and they have to be the right aromatic molecules, even though a very common thing to do is to take aromatic molecules from other oils and add them into an existing oil. If it's not found naturally in the plant, doTERRA would define that then as not being pure, not being therapeutic quality. CPTG is the standard that we develop for people to understand that. Now, I thought I would give you a graphic to illustrate this. I know that everybody says, well, we do testing. We do scientific testing to understand the quality of our essential oils. And everybody talks about doing a GC and doing mass spectrometry and so many other things. Well, good. But I want you to know that the comparative analysis of those is the determining factor of the profile that you view. In other words, if I do a GC or if I do some other type of analytical testing and I compare that to a synthetic profile and it matches up, I've done nothing but validate that the oil is synthetic of origin. So individuals like Dr. Pappas become critical because he actually houses the largest library in the world of known essential oil profiles in their naturally occurring form. And there's a comparative analysis. So here's a good example. This is doTERRA's lavender. Now I'm not going to go through and talk about all the peaks and all. We don't have time for all of that. But I've taken the liberty of making all those little dots everywhere you see a peak. So if we remove that, you can see that there's a little bit of a fingerprint. Then I took an analysis from another very well-known supplier of essential oils, and I overlaid that on that same fingerprint. And what do you see? They don't match up. They're not the same thing, but the claim is the same. Pure, therapeutic, nothing better, nothing altered, nothing changed. But when you look at it scientifically, nothing could be further from the truth. And here's the obstacle that we have. Is that with our new definition of what quality is, and by the way, our new definition is just returning to what they once were. If we were having this discussion 20, 30 years ago, we probably would not be talking about quality. But because of the extensive use of essential oils and the demand for essential oils, it is simply far easier to produce them outside of this model that doTERRA has defined.